United.
Welcome to the presentation on learning about similarities before we start talking about differences. This presentation is labeled Common Ground because that's what we're looking for at first. It's kind of like the Venn diagram where they overlap. We're going for the overlap part within world religions. So we're going to see what world religions have in common. One thing that world religions have in common is that religion has to do with people. I know you're shocked, but they really do. And the neat thing is that world religions have this belief system that affects people, okay? And it's not just the here and now, but it's the before the here and now and the after the here and now. Also, religions connect humanity. In other words, people again. Religion connects humanity, and humanity, at best, is something that's changing, it's fragile, myopic, and then it's going to connect that with something that's more lasting, eternal, and it's unchanging. What else does it do with people? Okay, well, if you went to a church today and you heard the message, well, the message is based on principles that aren't made up today. They're actually very old principles that are being applied today. The quote I have is, "Timeless principles taught through stories in time." What does that mean? Let's look at Judaism, Christianity, Islam. These three world religions all revere Abraham or Abram. He lived a long time ago. So if you wanted to chat with him about something, well, you're a little late. In fact, you're a couple of thousand years late. He's dead. You can't talk to him, but we still talk about him, okay? So why do we talk about a dead guy? Well, the principles that he represents are timeless. So here's the deal. We talk about an event that happened in the past, but the idea, the principle, the lesson, if you will, is talked about today. And so you're talking about a timeless principle through a lesson that is stuck in time. Okay? So that's one of the things that dealing with people, the religions have lessons or principles, characteristics that are applicable for daily life. Another thing about world religions is we have connections. We have a shared connection with everyone and everything, okay? That's a little different from pantheism, and we'll get there, but not right now, okay? To say you have a connection with everything is, well, the second part of the slide. Most religions believe in God. Some believe in gods, but they believe that they're everywhere, okay? If you took a flight to Abu Dhabi and then you took the next flight to Nairobi, Kenya, well, you don't think, well, God isn't there if you believe in God. For the most part, most people believe that God is omnipresent, everywhere, all right? So, if God is everywhere, then we're all kind of connected through God. Another way to look at it, if God created everything, then all things are connected through that creator. And so there's a connection within world religions that people not only share with other people, but they share it with something eternal. And you gotta have faith. Cue the song somewhere in the slides. Okay. Religions require faith. Faith is believing something that you don't completely understand or see or know for certain. Because, well, if you completely understand it, you know it, you see it, well, then you don't have faith, right? You just have knowledge or understanding, right? And those are not mutually exclusive. for the critics out there. All right, so another thing about faith is that most religions out there lift up the idea of having a childlike faith. They might not use the exact words, but the notion is the same. And be aware that childlike is not childish. A childlike faith means someone who takes it at face value, or someone who doesn't doubt, or someone who really believes and wants it to happen, okay? And most religions believe that to truly understand the divine, there's a childlike simplicity that will be seen as victorious over a rigid intellect. Another thing about world religions is that outsiders are allowed in, which I guess makes them insiders. That's a different connotation though, isn't it? Okay, so outsiders are allowed in. And in the world we live in, there's a lot of people who would claim, oh no, this religion or that religion, they don't like outsiders, they'd kill them all. Well, think about it. Religions have to welcome outsiders because if they didn't, the religion wouldn't last very long. Because, well, you have to recruit. You have to proselytize. That's a big word, right? You have to tell other people about it. Because, well, that'd be kind of weird if you didn't. So, once again, outsiders are allowed in. And here is something crazy for you to think about. People who are respectful can have meaningful conversations with people of different religions, and even without compromising what they believe. Let me repeat that. People who are respectful can talk to people who have different beliefs, and they can talk about it. They don't have to compromise what they believe, and they can still be friends. It's crazy, I know. And Americans really need to work on this, because for the most part nowadays, if someone disagrees with another person, well, they get mad, they turn to social media and lambaste them, and then they pretty much hate each other the rest of their life. But other cultures that are more mature and not as volatile can actually discuss things and then, be okay with it. So that's our goal with this class, is we're going to discuss things that are different. We can disagree, we can agree, and we're all going to be one happy family. It's going to rock. And here's something to think about. Here's a quote by Soren Kierkegaard. Mr. Kierkegaard was a theologian. He did a lot of work with Christian beliefs, and he wrote a whole lot. He wrote some books. And for another time, another class, another day, well, his writings actually led to some people developing existentialism, but that has nothing to do with this. Okay, what we're really talking about is this quote, and it's one of my favorite quotes. And you don't have to like it. We can disagree and still be friends. But the quote says this, as you can read along. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought which they seldom use. Okay, drop the mic on that one. That's pretty cold if you think about it. In other words, he's saying everybody's running around getting riled up, protesting all these things, but in reality, they're not really thinking about it or thinking about how to change it because, well, they're just following the crowd or getting riled up. What they should do is to sit back and to think about it. Really think about it. Use that freedom of thought. Everybody's quick to use that freedom of speech. But how about using freedom of thought for once? So, that quote is kind of a main goal for this course. As you work through it, I want you to use your noggin and think about what we're covering and be able to analyze it without getting riled up, getting emotional, going all bandwagon on us, okay? Because the point is not to change your mind. That isn't the point of this class. The point of this class is not to refute something. The point of this class is for you to analyze what different world religions cover, what they believe. And you're going to need to analyze it to the point where you can compare, contrast, predict, all kinds of cool, groovy things, all right? So, I'm excited about this class, and yeah, on to the next slides.